In 2020, India, the world's largest democracy, designated Gurpatwant Singh Pannu a terrorist. This is a man who faces 22 criminal cases in Punjab. The Indian government has published detailed information about how Pannu plays a significant role in promoting and commissioning terror acts and activities and spreading fear and terror in Punjab and elsewhere in the country through his threats and intimidation tactics. Between 2021 and 2022, Pannu, who has been hiding like a rat between the US and Canada, has routinely published bounties on Indian officials and explicitly called for vigilante violence against Indian diplomats and government leaders. In 2023, this terrorist, Pannu, issued a direct threat to Air India flights, warning people to stop using the Indian carrier as their life would be in danger. It was an implicit bombing threat. Deeply embarrassing the United States, a country of which he is a citizen, Pannu had to embarrassedly backpedal and downgrade his terrorist venom by saying he was merely calling for a boycott of Air India, but everyone knew what this terrorist meant. By continuing to protect Pannu using his citizenship as a cover, the Biden administration has clearly signaled that no matter how close India and the US become as partners, Washington will use US-based Sikh separatists on its soil as assets against India. India is playing ball with the United States, cooperating in the investigation, and even sending a team to the US for further proceedings. But now, 2 days after opening an aggressive diplomatic front against India and precipitating a historic crisis between India and Canada, the country's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, has made his next escalatory step. Canada's national broadcaster, CBC, has just done a television interview with Gurpatwant Singh Pannu. Now, one can argue that Canada doesn't see Khalistani separatists as terrorists, but amidst the belligerent crossfire between these two countries, India and Canada, choosing to platform a man who implicitly threatened to bomb Air India aircraft just last year shows that Canada, or rather Trudeau, is practically flaunting his support for a designated terrorist. More significantly, it exposes what some critics perceive as Justin Trudeau's inconsistent, hypocritical approach to issues of terrorism, which seems to be shaped by political expediency and saving his own skin. By providing Pannu a platform, CBC, which is the public broadcaster of Canada, has effectively legitimized the voice of a man who publishes murder bounties on government officials and threatens to plant bombs on Air India flights. Given Canada's own history with Khalistanis bombing Air India flights, one would perhaps have expected extra caution in giving voice and platform to a man like Pannu. But then, like I said on my show yesterday, this isn't about terrorism or even really about Canada-India relations, but about Justin Trudeau triggering a smokescreen that can distract the Canadian public from incendiary domestic issues. As you've seen on this channel and on this show, Trudeau is facing a huge public crisis and is being decimated in public conversations, even by his supporters and allies. But by giving Pannu a megaphone, Trudeau has reminded us all again about the depths he's willing to take Canada, a once proud nation, in order to rescue himself from political oblivion. The CBC interview with Gurpatwant Singh Pannu, a designated terrorist, raises several important questions. Should Canada re-examine its approach to handling separatist movements, particularly those that have been designated as terrorist organizations by allied nations? How far should freedom of speech extend when it conflicts with issues of national security? And perhaps most importantly, what does this mean for Canada's foreign relations, especially with India, a key partner in trade, technology, and security? With the United States embracing the same terrorist group as intelligence leverage against India, Trudeau has elbow room, or at least he thinks he has. But as global geopolitical landscapes become increasingly complex, Canada's stance on issues like extremism and terrorism will be scrutinized, and not just by India.